Hi everyone, and welcome to the Bureau of Freedom. My name is Sasha, and this is episode 8. I have an admission to make. I feel like a fraud. An imposter. Why am I doing these videos, podcasts, blog posts? What have I got to offer? My unique view on the world? Piffle. Isn't everyone's view unique? Isn't everyone's unique view essentially the same? What's the point of it? Who am I to engage in such arrogance? What gives me the right? Whenever I sit down to write and record these episodes, any and every combination of the thoughts above rattle around my brain. To combat them, I have to go through a ridiculous regime of self-help nonsense to remind myself that persistence is key, quitting is failure, write for yourself, visualize your goals but then let them go, build it and they will come. All of that works, or maybe none of it. I go from skeptical of this woo-woo nonsense to a hardcore believer, although the latter is usually once I formulate a scientific basis for the woo-woo in my head. But one thing that gives me solace of a thought is the imposter syndrome. I'm not going to go into a full history here, look it up on Wikipedia if you haven't heard of it, but essentially it's a psychological theory that describes the fact that many capable, intelligent people dismiss their accomplishments and feel like they are a fraud, an imposter, that somehow their success is due to luck or privilege, that they don't deserve praise and accolades. I certainly understood this in my previous life as an IT nerd. Most people have their own concerns, their own skills, and aren't necessarily tech literate, but when they would come to me to fix their problems, I would think, why come to me? I'm no smarter than you. I'm no more technically literate than you. You can Google the answer just as easily as I can. That's imposter thinking. I could never take stock, sit back, and realize that I had 20 years of technical problem solving behind me, that I was naturally predisposed to this career path as I was a born problem solver. Sure, it seems trite to say, let me Google that for you, but the actual truth of the matter is that anyone can type their problem into Google, but being able to parse and understand the results is also a skill. Most technical answers on the internet are written by nerds who only speak leet and have no concept of how to communicate with normies. So, when I feel like I don't belong here making these posts, I console myself that maybe that's just my imposter syndrome kicking in. But then I also remember imposter syndrome's dumbass younger cousin, the Dunning-Kruger effect. Again, not going to go into it, Google that shit, but essentially the Dunning-Kruger effect is a cognitive bias whereby people consistently think their abilities are greater than they are. I'm not sure whether the science backs this up, but the internet certainly also adds the concept that the Dunning-Kruger effect affects those of low IQ in higher proportions. Essentially, idiots don't know what they don't know. The thing is, it's almost a given that Dunning-Kruger thinking is more useful to success and finding freedom than having imposter syndrome. Those that don't know what they don't know the negative consequences of leaping before looking, so they leap where an imposter syndrome person wouldn't. So what am I? What are you? A super genius imposter syndrome sufferer who should try to succeed in spite of the waves of negative thought? Or a bottom-feeding Dunning-Krugerite who will succeed in spite of being an all-around dumbass? Well, how about somewhere in the middle? Like all of those things, it's a continuum. Too far to either side is dangerous, but the middle path is where it's at. Find your middle path, take a chance even when you're sure there are things you don't know. Back yourself even when you think you aren't the one. Do the work, live the dream, live life, be free.